You see, I come from the black church. Somebody said, yeah. And in the black church, we have seek and respond. In other words, I'm not here to talk to you, I'm here to talk with you. Yeah. So let's try it one more time. No impromptu. So let's try this one more time. Good evening. Good evening. Now you're all honorary black people. You're all cool. I'm deeply honored to be with you tonight. This is a special, special time. It's also a very troubling time. And I remember at moments like this that rainbows only follow storms. You know about that, a little bit about that in a place like Finland, that rainbows only follow storms. You cannot have a rainbow without a storm first. I'm reminded of when I was growing up in Compton, California, in South Central Los Angeles. And as my man Pekka would call the hood, it's a very honorable place to grow up. And my mom and my dad were just incredible people, are incredible people. My mother told me she loved me every day of my life. Nothing more powerful than a child being told that they are loved. And from my mother, I got this quote: there's a difference between being broke and being poor. Being broke is economic, but being poor is a disabling frame of mind and a depressed condition of your spirit, and you must vow never, ever, ever to be poor again. From my mother, I got this incredible sense of, yes, I am. My dad is an incredible man, an entrepreneur, has owned his own business for 54 years. And from my dad, I got a powerful sense of, yes, I can. Yes, I can. And so because of my dad, I was a businessman when I wanted to be a businessman when I was 10 years of age. And I was 10 years of age, we didn't have much money, so my mother used to dress me funny. She made these purple, crushed velvet, velour suits. Still traumatizes me to this day, with a ruffled shirt and a big bow tie. And sent me to school in Compton, California, next to Watts, dressed like that. I got beat up every single day. What are you clapping for? What is wrong with this audience? I got beat up. There was no dignity in this. But it caused me to understand that eagles don't fly in packs, that you've never seen a flock of eagles. And eagles are high altitude birds. There are three types of birds. There are eagles, there are buzzards, and there are turkeys. Eagles are high altitude birds. They're regal. They're not arrogant, they're not pompous, but there's a certain regalness to an eagle, very much like these two beautiful ladies sitting right here. You're picking on me, I'm gonna pick on you. And then you got another kind of bird. It's a buzzard. Buzzards love packs. Buzzards are low altitude birds. Buzzards are always stepping on your head to elevate themselves. Always, as we would say in my neighborhood, player hating, never player congratulating. Always have something negative to say about somebody. But the worst kind of bird is a turkey. Because the turkey's got wings and can't even fly. All they do is profile, translation, trying to be something they are not. So I grew up with these images, and the other side of the story, so I was 10 years old, I started the neighborhood candy house, made $300 a week selling candy. Then I was successful, I made some money and found girls and lost the business. Is a whole other story. But it gave me a great sense of yes, I can, and yes, I am, and yes, I could do. But the other side of the story was my mom and dad fought over money. Number one cause of divorce is money. And my mom and dad didn't finish school, not because they didn't want to go to school, but because it wasn't stressed in their generation. And because my mom and dad were excited about being entrepreneurs, we owned this property, but we lost it all. We lost the gas station we owned. We lost the apartment building we owned. We lost our own home. We didn't lose their home. We lost our home. And as a result of that, decisions were changed. My brother went to the military versus going to a private university because that's the only way he could get a college education. And all these stories played out differently in my life, and all around me was prison, probation, and parole because choices were limited. And I wonder what would have happened, and we lost it all, if my dad had been given financial literacy courses growing up. He was taught the language of money. If society cared enough about him to invest in him, to gain the knowledge about money so that he could today be employing people, creating a tax base, helping the revitalized community. And where today I take care of my dad, I wonder if today my dad would be taking care of others. How would life be different? So in my book, I say that loss creates leaders. I also just told you rainbows only follow storms. So what am I doing today? It's no accident. I'm teaching financial dignity around the world. We've taught 1.5 million people, but whatever goes around comes around. So I'm doing a mission that is tied to my loss. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I want to start a cancer foundation. Who starts cancer foundations? I told you I'm used to the black church. I'm talking to you. Who starts cancer foundations? People who have cancer. Who else? People whose relatives who have cancer. People who love those who have cancer, and those who have had cancer. Rainbows only follow storms, and loss creates leaders, and whatever goes around comes. Now you're getting it. This is you. We are the world. We are the few. You're coming around. And so today my life makes sense, but the minute you think you know everything, at that moment you know nothing. And so I was in India, and I was teaching a course on leadership in India, and I had gone to this university, and I spoke there, and after I left, I got back to the hotel, and I realized I didn't have my wallet. And so I called the hotel, and I said, can you please bring the card back? They have my wallet. And they said, I'm sorry, sir, we don't have a card. That was a taxi we used. And so they tried calling the taxi company, nobody answered the phone. They tried again, and nobody answered the phone. And I became a little cynical. I went from hopeful to skeptical to cynical, and I started thinking the worst of people. And of course, they said, well, my wallet is gone. By midnight, they called and said, we're still trying. He's not answering the phone, the taxi cab driver. But at 2 in the morning,